Hello, hello, hello. What's up, Aztec? Snowy, Via. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's going good, Snowy. How's your day going? I don't know, Snowy. I don't know if I've ever had that. Honestly. I mean, it seems like I might like some scotch like one day. Like I'm not old enough or sophisticated or wise enough yet. We're going to open up the intro of the podcast with like a 3-minute long dad joke, but it was hilarious. So bear with me.
Hello, everybody. This is Chick Wilfong, and I know Pancho Villa. This one goes out to my buddy Charles Williams. He shot me a pretty good one yesterday. I'm going to shoot this one back to him. There was an old man that, he's up in his 80s, and he gets a letter from the IRS that says contact us immediately. So he calls them, and the agent on the other end of the phone says, yes, sir, said, we've noticed some large increments of money going into and coming out of your account, and said, we're going to have to account for this money. Very well, we could have to do an audit, and we want you in our office 9 o'clock Monday morning. Yes, sir. They hang up the phone. Well, the old man got to thinking about it, and the longer he thought, the more he thought, well, I probably better get me an attorney. So he calls and hires him a lawyer, and 9 o'clock on Monday morning, him and his lawyer show up there at the IRS office. They go in with this agent, and they sit down, and agent says, well, sir, says, here's the deal. Says, there's great big amounts of money going into and out of your account all the time, and we need to account for what's going on here, and there could be a full-blown audit into it. Can you give us any explanation? The old man says, well, sure. Says, I like to do a little gambling. And said, usually I'll play for enough money that it means something. Said, you mean to tell me that these amounts of money are from gambling? He says, well, not just necessarily gambling, not as much as I'll kind of bet on anything. Said, can you give me a for instance? And the old man says, well, sure. So I'll tell you what, I bet you $5,000 I can bite my own eye. The IRS agent looked and kind of smiled at him and says, you know what, you're on. So he takes out his glass eye and bites it, puts it back in. The IRS agent says, son of a bitch. The old man says, now, wait a minute. Says, I know you're an agent with the IRS, and I don't want to make you mad. I want to give you a chance to win your money back and more. Said, tell you what I'll do. I'll bet you $7,500 I can bite my other eye. The agent thought a minute, and he says, well, you know, I didn't see him come in with a CNI dog, and he didn't come in walking with a cane, you know, feeling around like he's blind, so there's no way he could be blind in both eyes. You're on for $7,500. Old man takes out his false teeth, bites his other eye. He says, God almighty. The old man says, now wait, it ain't changed none. You know, I'll give you a chance to win your money back and more. So tell you what I'll do. I'll bet you $10,000. Said, no, think about it. You've lost $12,500. I'll bet you $15,000. That if you'll take that wastebasket right there and slide it over to the other side of the room, I'll stand on one side of your desk, and way over the other side of the room, I can pee from here to there, and I'll never get a drop on nothing. It'll all go in that wastebasket. And that IRS agent thought for a minute, and he tried to figure the deal, and finally he says, you know what, you're on. That old man unzipped his britches, and he just pisses all over the IRS agent's desk. And our IRS agent jumps up and says, ha ha! I got you now. The lawyer just went to sinking his head and doing like this. IRS agent turned to the lawyer and says, what's the matter with you? Said on the way over here, he bet me $100,000 that he'd piss all over your desk and you'd just love it. Y'all have a great day.
Yesterday. I figured today would be a good day to open with a dad joke. And that was a kind of a long one, but it was a good one. What's up, everybody? Hello. I see Via in the chat. I see Aztec in the chat. I see Frank and Snowy in the chat. It was a good day today. I see M in the chat. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for being here. Happy Father's Day. Aztec, you just became a dad, right? Like, isn't your kid's only a couple years old, if I remember right? Remembering that right? Remember when we were talking before, you said you had a young kid. Happy Father's Day, big. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate you. What's up, Omar? Yes, Daniel. I'm gonna talk about that. Actually, it's kind of like a good time to talk about that. 10 months. There you go, man. Congrats. This is your first Father's Day, huh? Nice. It's kind of it's not a sad one, but because we kind of celebrated our Father's Day yesterday, or the day before yesterday. But the kids aren't here. I work Sunday through Wednesday, and they have to get babysitters and stuff like that. So rather than trying to figure out a babysitter and stuff like that, driving around, we just decided to drop them off with their grandma for a few days. So they're not actually here with me, which kind of sucks. But like I said, we celebrated a few days ago, and I'm chilling. It was a good day. I just got back from work. And so first off, I want to say happy Father's Day to everybody. It's not an easy job to be a dad. And if you stick around and you don't decide to be a fucking piece of shit and not be a dad, then I salute you. I commend you. We all have faults as fathers, and we learn slowly, usually. But as long as we're trying and not totally fucking it up, I salute you. So Daniel Maya, was that you who was in the chat, Daniel Maya? I feel like I kept thinking that you were Daniel Moya. I don't know. I have a friend named Daniel Moya. I say this all the time. Anyways. So I feel like when in my early 20s and when I first started going out and getting drunk, I was out going and getting wild out in public and with random people and strangers. Thank you, Red. How you doing? Thank you, Shady. I appreciate you guys. Anyways, I used to party a lot. I used to drink a lot without rambling too much or bringing the vibe down too much. Because I partied in public and in crazy places, as I got older and really got more in touch with having a family and my second daughter was born, I started to really think that I could still get fucked up. I just got to do it at home. I felt like I was being responsible by doing that. I felt that because I wasn't going out and driving drunk or whatever the fuck, and because I wasn't going out and spending money or leaving my family or my kids, that it was okay for me to get basically shit faced anytime I wanted at home. In the beginning, in those times, there were a lot of beautiful moments, especially with before my second daughter was born. I remember so many nights where me and Monica and Victoria hung out and had so much fun, but me and Monica were pretty drunk. And I heard you says too, Snowy. All that shit sounded good. Like some sort of, if I could really get like some sort of Scotch tasting session going, that would be awesome. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip what you had mentioned, but to get back on topic real quick, there were a lot of good moments with me and my daughter, my oldest daughter, and my wife, and even my youngest after she was born. There's been a lot of good moments, but there's been a lot of horrible ones too. And either way, I bring that up because recently I've started to understand and to realize that just because I'm at home and with my family doesn't give me this get out of jail free card as far as getting drunk and acting a fool. I'm starting to see as my daughters get older, and that's probably what it is, right? Like I'm literally coming to that realization now because this is such new thought to me. Coming to the realization or whatever that, hey, maybe it's not the most responsible and healthy thing for my daughters to be around me and my wife, or me only, or my wife only, when we're drunk as fuck like that. It seems like more than likely it is because my daughters are getting older and starting to understand things more. And I kind of got slapped in the face with that thought and that idea and that concept and trying to figure that out Friday night, because me and my wife went out for Father's Day, whatever. We went out to go have a beer. And I'm not saying all this shit to try to like talk shit about myself. I'm fine. Everything's all good. It's just kind of like a thing I'm starting to learn, and it's like, I want to talk about that kind of shit on the podcast, and I want to talk about that kind of shit on my channel, and I don't want to come off like, one, I'm just trying to talk about myself and be a fucking annoying, and two, I don't want to come off like I'm trying to be bad vibes. Anyways, that's the last time I'm gonna fucking paraphrase whatever I say, because I need to just do what I do. Anyways, I forgot the exact thing I was saying. I all I have to say is that, like, damn, I'm starting to understand. Like, it's not the best look for my 11-year-old to see me and my wife drunk as fuck. Now, question I ask you: is it wrong to drink in front of your kids? Is it wrong to be drunk in front of your kids? Is there a border, like a line you just shouldn't cross as far as it all goes? Thank you, Trent. Thank you, Trent. What's up, Trent? Kids are smart as fuck sometimes, understand concepts and shit better than adults. For sure, Trent. For sure, that. And like I said, basically I say this because that's what I was explaining Father's Day night, Friday night. What's up, Drew? What's up, big dog? Anyways. I guess what I'm trying to say is, what I was trying to explain is, that night we went out, we went to dinner, and we went to have a few drinks at the bar, and it was a beautiful, beautiful night for me and my wife. We kind of been going through a couple of like some weird shit the last couple of weeks, and it was like a reigniting of the flame almost. Like, we had fun, we laughed, we drank, we joked, and it was all good vibes. We came home, we streamed, and on the way home, we got more beer. I think that was the mistake, because up until I started drinking more when I got home, I felt like we were okay and fine and everything was good. But the more I drank, the more like discombobulated I felt. And then then basically, without saying too much, my wife kind of called me out for some shit that I said, which was pretty rude, but I didn't mean it that way, but it was just some drunk, dumb shit that I said. And she called me out about it, and I sat and I basically, I don't know, I just feel like I realized that it was too much. There was too much going on, and I ended the karaoke stream with my family really abruptly. That night went off to be crazy as fuck. Very, very sad night, but a needed one, a one that needed to happen for me and my wife to heal, and me to come to the multiple realizations. Maybe I'll talk more about exactly what happened and how it all went in the future, but right now I'd rather not. But it's just kind of like been on my mind. Like, I don't know. I just started to understand, hey, man, and it seems like a very easy concept to get, but maybe you shouldn't be that drunk when you're with your kids. And it's kind of like, oh, I get it. Now I get it. Now I understand. And I think that there is always going to be a different side of me that comes out when I drink. I don't know if that's something I should work on or talk to a therapist about or what the fuck ever. But when I drink, I just become a much happier guy. I become a much more talkative, caring, compassionate guy. And I like who that is. Like sometimes the person I am when I'm buzzed or I'm somewhat drunk, I'm like, fuck, I wish I could feel like this all the time. Like I wish I could just be caring, like care about other people's feelings and interested in their lives and just this fucking elated person, you know? But I don't know. It is what it is. I feel more comfortable. I feel like it's probably a similar situation when it comes to like okay, think about it like this. Sorry, I know I'm rambling. I'm not making much sense. I have not really had time to take notes or write notes or anything about. Sometimes I do with these, but think about this. I know I wouldn't do shrooms or take acid in front of my kids for a fact because I feel like the energy level would be off or it would be like it would be an issue for me in my head. It would trip me the fuck out. Does that make sense? It would I wouldn't do that because it would be inappropriate for them, but also probably mostly because it would be a fucked up trip and experience for me, right? Because yeah. Okay. Now, how come I don't think that same way about when I get super drunk? Like why? Because the experience for me isn't that bad, but but it would be for them. So it's almost like I'm being selfish in that sense that I would actually consider that I would think that I wouldn't do shrooms and acid in front of them, but I would get drunk. It's almost like a selfish way of thinking because I'm considering my feelings before theirs. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense because I had this thought on the way home. Like, that's a selfish way of thinking. You know, I wouldn't do psychedelics in front of my kids because of my experience, but I would get drunk as fuck in front of them without thinking about their experience and how that might feel or look to them. There you go. That's kind of more and yes, like Via said, yeah, alcohol is legal, and it's a totally normal thing to have a few drinks in front of your kids and family, you know. Acid is a personal thing. Definitely wouldn't do it around your kiddos. Need time to zone out and shit. I don't know. I'm thinking too much about it now. At this point, I'm just rambling. I'm probably just running in circles and confusing myself. But it's definitely an interesting thought and a kind of a crazy time to talk about it because it's Father's Day, right? And that is the sign of a good father. All right. Questioning yourself and just figuring yourself out and continuing to improve on yourself for your kids. And I'm proud of that. I'm confident in that. I'm not a bad dad. I'm a great dad. I know that. I know that. I'm a good dad. But holy shit, man, do I fuck up. Like, holy shit, have I fucked up. But that's good. And that's why I love having this channel. It gives me an opportunity to talk about it and discuss these type of things with you guys, you know? You are a good person. Can you stop drinking or do you need it? I don't need it. I mean, I can stop drinking, and I have, but I don't know if I need to or even want to. You know, I kind of understand that I tend to overdo it, but I'm not addicted. And as long as I can control it and I'm confident in controlling myself, then the benefits of having a drink outweigh the risks because I'm confident in my control. Yeah. If you're open to talk about it, you're on the path. Do you treat weed like alcohol? No. I don't mind smoking in front of my children. I know that is a kind of risque subject. Don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here smoking a blunt in a closed room with them. Never would I do that. But do I mind taking a hit from a pipe while we're at a barbecue and they're on the other side, like fucking 20 feet away, and they see me? Like, I'm not worried about that. Or they're on the other side of at the uh, door of my garage, and I'm smoking over here, like one hit real quick, and they walk in and they're staying over there and like trying to ask me a question real quick. I don't mind that. I just don't. I honestly am at a point with marijuana where I don't even consider it a drug. I consider it like a coffee. Like it's not. I don't look at it nearly the same way that some people do, and it kind of scares people too. Like I have all my bongs right here, right? Look how beautiful they are. Anyways, and I had that all set up in one of the rooms before, and it was like my studio, and the kids would be in there all the time playing and stuff like that. And I remember I'd have people come over, and they would trip out like, "Oh my, are they allowed to be in here? But the bongs are right there." And it's like, so I don't know. That's just how I am. You know what I mean? I don't get me wrong. They are very educated about it. They know that it's an adult medicine. They know that it helps their dad feel less angry and more calm and happy. They know that it helps him sleep. They know that I have showed them, literally, I just showed my 5-year-old like 2 weeks ago, a video of a dad giving wax, like THC wax, to their child who was having an epileptic seizure. And I showed her the video and I said, did you know, before that I was talking to her about weed and how it was a medicine, just kind of, telling her, I try to reinstate that, because they see me with weed all the time. So I try to, let them know it's a medicine and continue to educate them on that. But I said, did you know that weed can actually cure people who have seizures, and that little kids, it can actually save their lives, because seizures can actually really, really harm them and kill them sometimes. And the weed actually helps them to stop having seizures instantly. And she was tripping out like, what? So I showed her a video of a little baby or a little kid having a seizure, and his dad rubbing the CBD, or not CBD, actual weed oil into his gums. And within 10 seconds, 12 seconds, the kid stopped having the seizure. And it is known that that shit literally saves kids' lives. Weed literally saves kids' lives. Like, it's a fucking scientific fact that happens, because seizures, just stopping a seizure is insanely important, because they can really harm them. So it's a point of education, and I'm totally confident and comfortable with them knowing I smoke and, seeing bongs. You know what I'm saying? Smoking in front of kids is good for them. It opens their eyes in a sense. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Low key, I could see that. I think just being around weed, looking at it, like, it's nothing fucking wrong with that. You know what I mean? If you needed your cigarette to put your cigarette out in an ashtray, and your 8-year-old was right there, you might be like, "Hey, can you put my cigarette in the ashtray right there?" Nobody would second guess that. "Hey, can you get me a beer from the fridge?" Nobody would second guess that. "Hey, can you roll me a joint?" Oh my God, oh my God, can you hand me my bong right there, baby? Oh, call. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine? It's just a cultural thing. It stems from our history. And I'm not really mad at people who feel that way, but it's something that I feel that type of idea of thinking of weed as this evil drug is going to fade away. What's up, Kyle? Kids are too young to understand why we do things like weed. Keep it away from them. I do not agree, Daniel Maya. But cheers. Exactly. Weed is literally legal now. It's just kind of a trip to see how, ideas about one thing, you can literally fucking, look. I was looking up sometimes I Google things to like for thumbnails, and I typed in drunk father in Google, right? And look what popped up. Look at all this shit that popped up. I was like, for people just listening to the podcast, there are thumbnails with just crying children with their dads holding glass bottles right next to them and shit like that. And looking at these thumbnails, kind of on it because I looked this up because I knew I wanted to talk about what I wanted to talk about. Hey Trent, thank you, bro. Thank you for the $2, bro. Thank you. See you. Thank you. I looked at this up because I want to talk about what I was just talking about. But looking at these pictures of all this crazy shit, and when you look up drunk father, it's a little girl crying and the dad screaming at her, or a dad passed out while the kid's trying to wake him up. That doesn't happen to me. The only thing, that what I'm worried about is not getting crazy and violent or passing the fuck out with a bottle in my hand. But what I'm worried about is being embarrassing and too loud and annoying and rambunctious and overzealous. That's just kind of, when looking at these thumbnails, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I guess my problem is not as bad as some. So thank you, Trent. Thank you again. How come that shit didn't pop up for me? What the hell, man? Did it pop up and I didn't notice? Let's see. I think I could do it again.
Spooky dookie.
Thank you, bro. I forget that I could replay the alerts. I'm not the type of person to talk. Last time I did, boy, my older brother slapped the shit out of me. But just know you're a dope father. Thank you, Ran. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you. Those images brought back flashbacks. That's how my dad was when he'd get drunk. Oh, God. You can disagree, but you are the one taking innocence away. Okay, I'm super curious. So, are you okay with kids like being around somebody who's drinking a beer or having the knowledge of what a beer is? Are you okay when a little kid walks by the glass door full of liquor bottles and beer cans at the liquor store, at the gas station? You're not, because, or is that taking away their innocence? Or what about when they go buy a bag of chips and they go pay for it, and then there's all those cigarettes right there behind and chewing tobacco and shit like that? Is that taking away their innocence? I know I'm being an asshole, but disagreeing with somebody's opinion on the morality of marijuana in a family or around children is one thing, and saying that you're taking a child's innocence away is a different. Yeah, but seeing you parents becoming a monster is terrible, at least from personal experience. And see, that's what it always comes down to. When people say shit like that, you can disagree, but you are the one taking innocence away. And then you ask them like, oh, and you question them on something like that. It always comes back, and then it's always like they have this personal issue. And I'm not trying to call you out here, Daniel. I'm really not. And that's fucking sucks. And I'm sorry that happened, man. But it's like, that's one of the disconnects that comes to debates about topics, is that it's hard to debate a topic or talk about a topic in a healthy way when a person has a personal experience in their past that alters their view of that experience. Because in order for them to truly look at that topic by unbiasedly, they would have to get past that experience. And sometimes it's almost impossible to get past some experiences. So it's just interesting to see that is part of the disconnects between the left and the right, between Democrats and Republicans, and between the media and other shit. You know what I'm saying? There's and just in life, a lot of people, it's like that's one aspect to disconnects and debates and disagreements that people don't get, is that it's almost hard to come to an agreement when one person is not thinking clearly, I guess. And I don't mean to that in a mean way, but this is why I usually stay quiet when you talk about drinking, because of my personal experience with it. Hey, well, yeah, I mean, for sure. I get that. It happens a lot. Even drunk drivers kill a lot of people. Absolutely, Daniel. Fuck yeah. If someone's drinking straight out of the bottle in front of them, that's when it's like, that's a bad sight. But a beer or a small glass of whiskey is like, education is key. Yeah, for sure. I see that. I only see the problem with drinking in front of them. Then it's I feel that for sure. I feel that for sure. There's definitely a difference between walking around fucked up with a bottle and being it's a weird like barrier that you cross. You know, I smoke weed with my parents now that I'm older and I love it, but never could until I was 18. That's good. You shouldn't. I don't think anybody should smoke weed until they're 18, if not a little later. Honestly, shouldn't do any drugs until you're 18. Honestly, anything, even alcohol, drinking, nothing, in my opinion. But that's just me. Either way, it's a trip, you know. It's a trip to think about. This is my son, actually, guys. I want you to meet him. This is my new son. How are you, titty boy? This is the titty. Ah, here, come here. Say hi to everyone. Say hi. Hi, titty boy. Who is that cat? Is that a titty boy right there? Hello. Hello. Ah, okay. You want to? You can't be up there though. Here, or you want to be up there? Go. Okay, go ahead. Hey, Jane. Jane. Up. Hi, Janey Waney. Hey, look. See, I'm not just a dad to two little girls, but also two little animals, two little monsters. I don't know what I was saying. I don't know. I think it's part of the world why hide it or shield them from it just skews their perspective. It's important to know shit like that growing up. I agree. I try to teach them. Like I remember I taught Victoria about 9/11 just like a couple years ago. I showed her videos of it and tried to explain it. And ever since when I showed her, she was shocked. But, you know, I taught my 9-year-old about 9/11 and I feel like it was a good thing, you know. Weed is good, but still think children shouldn't be near. They are naturally curious. There you go. I mean, I get that. I could see that. What's up, Rosie? Thank you. Um, I could get that. I could see why, you know, it's the same reason why I wouldn't want my kids around a bottle of tequila and shit like that. You know, it's just dangerous and you never know. I never really had to worry about that though, because my kids were always just kids. But now that my daughter is becoming almost going to be 12 now, it's definitely going to, you know, I'm going to have to start keeping an eye on things a little bit differently. But you know what? I don't have any, and maybe all dads say this, but I don't have any inclination that my daughter is ever going to, one, smoke weed, or two, try to smoke my weed secretly as a child. I don't think that that's going to happen with Victoria, at least, my 11-year-old. My 5-year-old, on the other hand, who the knows? I have no idea. She's going to be a handful for the world. She is a fucking firework in a 5-year-old's body. So I'm really, really excited to see where she ends up and how she ends up. Do you only get drunk on stream or off stream as well? I mean, I've gotten both. I really don't drink that much. I drink like I don't know. I the most, at the very most, like 3 times a month, but probably more like at the very most like 4 times a month, maybe 5. At the very fucking most, not 5, not like around 4, probably more like 2 or 3. That's where I've been the last year or so. Watch my friend. Yeah, there you go. Watch the Friends. Yep, there you go. I picked up on drinking. Damn, it's not good, Rosie. Must be crazy growing up in the world right now. I know. Can you fucking imagine? Like they're living through a pandemic. Like I thought the fact that I was alive during 9/11 was crazy. They are living through coronavirus. Like what the fuck? That's nuts, dude. Like to be in kindergarten and go to your graduation of kindergarten and a drive-through graduation with everyone has masks on. It's hard to even recognize people because you don't. You know, you go to the store and everybody has masks on. As a child, that must be a mind fuck, you know? But at the same time, kids are resilient as fuck. And if they don't know, she didn't know that, you know, she didn't know that kindergarten is not normally like that. You know, I mean, and it's kind of sad. Like, it made me really sad to take her to that. Really fucking sad. Like, I really had to like hold back from like choking up because it was so fucking sad to see all these little kindergarten kids couldn't even, they will never have that experience. I mean, I don't know if kindergarten graduation is that big a deal, but it kind of is. They have fun with it. They go up and they go, look, they smile, you know, but now they'll never be in kindergarten again. And they'll know, and it was taken away from them, their experience. And now when they think about it, they're going to think about this fucking weird circus drive-through thing they went through where they didn't even recognize who their teacher was, like, or where was what. And everybody's yelling at them and waving from over 6 feet away. It's fucking stupid. Yeah. Everything we thought we knew is becoming a lie, and all the old ways of doing shit is flying out the window. Our kids are just seeing the world and they see the system crumble and don't know why. Ah, man, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy, dude. I can't believe it. I mean, I can, but holy shit, man. I think that this is a growing period for the world. I think that we're going to learn a lot after this. I think there's going to be a lot of positive changes. And I think a lot of good is going to come, but I think that you got to go through the fucking fire and you got to get through the storm to see the sun. You know what I'm saying? I think we're in the storm right now, bro. And I think it's going to get worse. I feel like it's going to get worse for a little bit a little longer, but eventually it should simmer down. Eric just subscribed. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you, buddy. King Art said, how do you see your podcast growing in a year? I don't know, man. I haven't really even thought about the growth of the podcast like at all. But I mean, the last couple podcasts I've done, we've had like over 14, 15 viewers or like 13 viewers pretty consistently. And the plays on the Apple Music and Spotify and all that is going up. And I don't know, man. I like that. It seems like the last few podcasts I've done, I haven't like come to a stalemate. Like, there's times where I literally like just not know what to say. But I think that also comes with, one, I've done this is the 28th podcast now. It's kind of wild. And two, I've just kind of been doing shit. The last few podcasts I've actually had things to talk about, you know? So Terry Deadass born at some crazy shit on some non-political shit. How was Trump our president? Not for nor against, just the fact that out of the hundreds of millions in this country, that is the dude we want to lead our country. Hundreds of millions, and that dude's the president. I know, and it's so funny that you have to paraphrase that. Like, and just I'm not saying politically. I'm not here. I'm not for him nor against him. It's like everybody. Anytime we talk about Trump, we have to like paraphrase it, because if not, somebody will be like, you know, or they'll be over here like, you know, you don't know. But I feel you. It's a fucking trip. And I don't give a fuck if it's political or not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a badass, you know. I say that too. But honestly, Donald Trump is a fucking moron. He's not smart. He's not a leader at all. At all, he's not a leader, and it shows. I think that he's about as good of a leader as you could be. He's like an aggressive leader. I remember at Valvoline, they kind of taught us this thing that has always stuck with me. You don't want to be aggressive. You don't want to be passive. You want to be assertive. He's aggressive. And as far as aggressive leadership goes, not bad. But that's not the best way. Passive. Who would be a passive president? Bill Clinton? Maybe? I don't know. I don't really know politics that well. But assertive. You want to be assertive in every sense of leadership, you know. Assertive is I don't know, whatever the fuck. Yeah. We're basically family that chill together. There you go. That's goddamn right. I like that. I like that. It's true though. It's funny because it's it's so much more comfortable now. Like I don't know. Yeah. I don't think not one person in this world is fit to lead, so who cares if it's Trump or not? He's a fucking clown. I'm kind of happy Trump is our president only for the fact it shows how fucked our system is. It like blew up in our face. It's a wicked world. Exactly, Trent. I actually mentioned this on a podcast before. It's like, Donald Trump is like, I remember when he became president, I thought what I remember thinking is like, oh, this is going to shake some shit up. And whether he does a good job or a bad job, it's going to fucking be crazy and weird. And it might be what we need. And it looks like, it is kind of. It's what we deserve, if anything. We need Hillary or Michelle Obama? What the fuck? Michelle Obama, maybe, but Hillary Clinton is a goddamn snake. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't talk about this shit. It's not important. I don't know enough to really have the conversations or even the right opinions, but I don't trust Hillary Clinton. Why? I don't know. I think I saw a couple documentaries. I trust Hillary as much as I trust Chris D'Elia. Chris D'Elia. Holy fuck. Did I talk about this last week? Dude, Chris D'Elia is a motherfucking pervert. I like have, and I think I did talk about it last week a little bit, but I seen some more like screenshots of shit he was saying to like little 17-year-old girls, like, and that he like used to want to like fuck them and like talk about their ages while he's fucking them, and then cry after he's done fucking them, and then like tell them that if they don't do exactly what he says, he's just gonna cut them off, and they don't want that, and all this other crazy shit. I don't know. It's kind of wild. I was a really big Chris D'Elia fan. Chris D'Elia, he's a comedian. Yeah, it's kind of wild. Kind of a trip. At least we don't live in the 1600s. The best way of ruling a nation then was fear. Love from the people leads to revolution in the end. Love from the people leads to revolution. Oh, revolution. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. That's the thing. That's what I mean. You can rule that type of way. There's ways to do it in a aggressive way. I don't think it's ever going to be the best way. Hillary after her emails leaked. Psh. I did see the documentary about Epstein. Yep. That's a whole nother fucking topic. I don't want to start talking about it because my stream will probably get pulled off the air. Like last time. Last time we talked about it, and my stream literally just got fucking like hijacked. I know, Trent. I don't know. I'm terrified that that's the truth. I hope it's not like all of them and just like a small group, but I don't know. Pedophilia, that shit is just that shit is such a mind fuck. I don't want to go down that road, but like that shit is like just horribly infuriating and disgusting to think about. Right now, there is children being abused, and like the evil animalistic mind state, the robotic, soulless, cold fucking shell of a human that could do something like that deserves nothing but death. There is no coming back for that person. That person deserves a horrible death, and we're gonna leave it at that. I don't want to talk about something else. Bloop, 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 bloop. Sorry. We need Batman. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Father's Day. Damn. Y'all should watch Above Majestic on Hulu. What is that? Yo, Audible, what are your thoughts on euthanasia? Holy shit. We're just going deep now, huh? Fuck it. Let's get dark. I see it. There are people at an extremely old age who live in constant pain. They wake up and they feel constant pain, and nothing relieves them of that pain. Do I think that type of a situation calls for them being killed? No. Do I think that I have the right to tell a human when or when they cannot die? No. I don't think euthanasia is a very easy topic to talk about, but I also don't feel like I have the right to tell that person that they can't do that if they wanted to. I just don't. But yeah. Hell yeah, Batman. Crazy. We need to live in fear of speaking out against the elite or they'll censor your speech and stream. Fucking crazy because it's true. That's true. That's true. That's fucking true. It's a documentary. Okay, what is it called? Above Majestic. Okay, I'll check it out. I literally watched that tonight. I love documentaries. Not enough people care about each other. That's fucking true too, Daniel. Absolutely. Snowy in chat says, I remember when Mr. Matokir was streaming about Epstein's bedfall and got kicked off of stream, I think. Yeah, it's a real thing. There's like actual names that you can't say, that if you just say it, the YouTube algorithm will literally just remove your video. According to what I've heard somebody say on Joe Rogan's podcast once. They said it's just a name. But I don't know how true that is. But what was I about to say right now? I was about to say some shit. Not enough people care about each other. That's what I was going to say. That, I think, is the biggest downfall of the human race, is that it's so hard for us to just be kind. But being kind is not natural. We need to understand that. Compassion and kindness is not a natural thing. Not murdering and not raping is not a natural thing. I know that's a fucking crazy statement. Hold on. Okay, wait. Not murdering is not a natural thing. Rape is something that happens in nature with many different species, but is probably not that natural or common within those species. I got all red. Look at that. I fucking totally fucked that up. Holy shit. Please, nobody take that soundbite. Please, please, God. But murdering was a part of life. Back when we lived in small villages and the evil men from the opposite village would come and try to kill us, we would have to kill them. That is what is in our biology. And holy shit. Okay. Monogamy, or just being with one person sexually, is not natural either. I think it started to, I mean, just like not murdering is very natural now. It's very natural to not murder anymore, but I think that's a part of evolution. I don't know. Maybe it's not a part of evolution. Maybe it's just a part of us not needing to murder anymore. There's, I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't even think I'm making sense anymore. I'm kind of just want to stop talking. I hope you guys are getting what I was trying to say, but I'd like to just move on now. That's it. Not murdering and not raping is not natural. You start making sense and then it veers off. Yeah, I know. I don't know what I'm talking about, bro. That one right there, I fucked up. I got very scared because of what I said. I was trying to make sense. Did we think like animals? If so, do we still? Yes, I think we did. Yeah, for sure. Back when, we didn't barely use language or have tools or nothing. Of course, we were out there as cavemen or whatever the fuck we were. And, we had to survive because there was actual monsters in the fucking forest and in the hills that wanted to eat us. The only way we could survive is by being smarter because everything else is stronger and bigger, What is going to happen when the younger? Oh, look, my stream's fucking up. Daniel in chat says, "What is going to happen when the younger generation is the one in charge?" I think it's going to be way less racist. I think it's going to be beautiful. I think that we have a nice. I'm confident in our younger generation. Honestly, I'm confident in what they can do. Do I believe in the stoned ape theory? I do. I do believe that. I mean, I don't know if I believe it. Like, I think it's a fact, but I think it's very likely. For people who don't know what stoned ape theory is, let me look it up so I can define it the right way without going off on a dumbass tangent. Stoned ape theory is a theory. What is it called? A theory that oh my god, I'm actually high. See what happens when I don't smoke weed all day? I work all day and I don't smoke at all, and then I come home when I smoke and I'm fucking dumb. Maybe I shouldn't do the podcast when I smoke like that. I just said stoned ape theory. Is that a theory? Yeah, that's a theory. Jesus Christ, guys, I'm sorry. It's a theory by Terence McKenna. The definition says he believed that psilocybin mushrooms were the evolutionary catalyst from which language, projective imagination, the arts, religion, philosophy, science, and all of human culture will spring. McKenna's hypothesis concerning the influence of psilocybin mushrooms on human evolution is known as the stoned ape theory. So basically, he says that monkeys ate psychedelic mushrooms, and because of that, they are not monkeys, but whatever part of the evolutionary chain that monkeys became, ate psilocybin mushrooms, and that's how we instantly started, just because if you look at the timeline, like we slowly evolved from monkeys, but there was a huge jump recently, and they really don't know why. But Terence McKenna's theory was that they ate psilocybin mushrooms or psychedelic mushrooms, and that caused them to start thinking differently and looking up at the stars and wondering and considering different options and thinking about tools. And because of mushrooms, we evolved at a rapid rate and became what we are today. That made sense, I think. What if the world ends sometime soon? It probably will. Fuck it. The stoned ape theory is interesting. Imagine out of all the different years that humans have been alive, all the different lifetimes that have gone through the world, all the millions of years, whatever the fuck, however long it's been. Imagine being lucky enough to be alive when it all ends. That means you're a god, you know? Trent in chat says the stoned ape theory is interesting. Can't knock it, but don't credit it to our evolution. I think aliens seeded us and we were destined to evolve from the start. We're just an alien science experiment. Yeah, but maybe the aliens were like, hey, these motherfuckers are taking too long. Let's throw some psychedelic mushrooms and have them grow on different parts of their planet and hurry this shit up. And maybe like that's what it all is. It's funny. I just talked about that. I literally made a Facebook post that said, what if we're just living in some sort of like complicated video game and we don't even know it, and we're all just characters in a video game or some shit like that. And I posted that 10 years ago or 9 years ago, something like that. Well, I don't know. Do you listen to Alan Watts? I have, yeah. Well, I need to more though. I like his quote or when he talks about thinking too much. And he talks about how if you think too much, you're basically living in an alternate reality. You're not living in the reality that's now. You're living in it's the reality of your brain. And by thinking too much, you're actually hurting yourself. So, has talk of the end of the world always been around, or just this generation? Always. Always. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Fucking, people have always talked about end of the world, I'm pretty sure. I know that I would think that it'd be a common thing that people would have thought about, like our ancestors type shit. They see a meteor and they've never seen something like that. They must have instantly thought, oh my God, the world's going to end. or at sometimes all the different things that are happening in their worlds. Imagine, like, I don't know, like you live in a climate where it never snows, and then rarely, you've been alive for 15 years, and all of a sudden, for some reason, the clouds come in, and it's not just the normal water drops that drop down from the sky. Something starts to fall that's light and white and fluffy, and it collects on the ground, and it starts to build, and it gets higher and higher, and it's this white, powdery, cold stuff that you don't know what it is. You would think that your planet's ending if you don't know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? It's a trip to think about. I think about shit like that a lot, like how people would have responded to natural phenomena that we understand now. But imagine not knowing that type of shit back then. You guys got to watch this movie called Zeitgeist. That shit will mind fuck you. Yeah, we're in GTA 56. Everyone around us is NPCs, but the trippy part is when you realize you're an NPC yourself. What if that's the whole point of the video game, to somehow understand and realize that you're just another fucking bot? Holy. That's what it's always been about. Being a bot. The world is supposed to end in 2000. The world is supposed to end in 2012. They said that the world is supposed to end today. I think there was another thing that came out that said the Mayan calendar ends today. Is it right now? Let's see. What if it's in like 10 minutes? When does the Mayan calendar actually end? June 21st, 2020. Damn. Or just June 21st is what it says it'll end. We're out of here, guys. It's been a pleasure. So, to start to wrap things up, because I got to get to bed. I got to go to sleep, y'all. I got to wake up at 6 a.m. now when I go to work, which is not bad. It's funny because like that's like right when the sun has been up for a little while. So like it's really natural to wake up at that time. But we talked about how getting extremely drunk around your children probably isn't the right thing. We talked about how it is what it is, and we just got to move on, and not think too much about it. Or I guess I learned that today. It's about being responsible and knowing your limits, and knowing that when the kids are there, the limit lowers a lot. And that's one thing I need to know. And I do know now. So it's good to know. To be honest, the universe took a turn somewhere. It felt normal in like the 60s to the 2010s. Then something happened. Now it feels like a joke. Like, yeah, it does, man. It fucking does. You know what? You know what happened? This shit. That is what it is. It's media, internet, technology. And I think that we are seeing the gears getting worked out, and we're seeing the meshing of the fucking like of what was normal and what's going to be the new normal. We're experiencing that transference, and I think it's going to last for a while, but I think eventually it's going to even out. Like, what did I hear the other day? That change doesn't happen like this. That doesn't just go from bottom to like low to high. It goes back and forth, and each time it swings back and forth, it gets a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. That's kind of how change in the world happens. And I think I'll leave it at that. This has been a great podcast, guys. You guys are actually like amazing, for real. Like, this has been, it's really nice to know that there's people who are hanging out with me and listening and get going deep in weird conversations about euthanasia and alcoholism and the end of the world and Chris D'Elia and Jeffrey Epstein. Oh shit. Did you know that there's COVID thing download on all Android and Apple phones now? It says it's only activates when Bluetooth is on. The fuck? That's wild. That's scary. Either way, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys can, it'd be amazing if you gave the video a thumbs up. And if you're listening to the podcast on Apple Music or Spotify, if you can rate the podcast 5 stars. I think that's how it works. I am out of here. Thank you guys again, man. This is like such a amazing thing that we have here. And I just want to keep it going. So if you guys want to consider becoming a member, you can hit the join button. It's $1.99 a month. Help support the channel. You get cool emotes like Via and Ren have and Kyle have in the chat and Chet and Trent have in the chat. Thank you again to Trent for the $2. Thank you to Eric for subscribing. Happy Father's Day again to everybody in chat who's a father. And yeah, just keep pushing, man. It ain't easy, but we can do it, man. We can do it. We just got to keep fucking being honest with ourselves and becoming better. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Good night and happy Father. Thank you, Shady. Thank you, Aztec. Thank you, Via. Thank you, Snowy. Kyle. Trent, thank you again for the $2, bro. I appreciate you, dude. Who else? Drew. Thank you, Drew. Did I say that? Am I missing someone? I feel like I'm missing someone. Via, Ren, Aztec, Snowy, Trent, Ren, Shady, Kyle. I feel like I still missed somebody. Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate you, dude. Shady. I said that. Miklo Avila. Good question with the euthanasia question, bro. Rosie was here. King Art was here. Quick shout out to our sponsor, the Kid Ami. He makes beats and shit like that, and dope ones too. If you guys are interested in checking him out, all his info is in the description. Yo is here. That's what I always call you, right? Yo. I don't know why I tried to fucking say it all out. I normally just say, yo, what's up, bro? Haven't seen you in months. How you been doing with shit lately? I'm doing good, brother. Doing real good. Appreciate you. I was gonna say I haven't seen you in a minute. Ooh. Oh yeah. Nightbot. Yeah, Nightbot. Peace out, Nightbot. When you plan on streaming again? Probably within the next couple days for sure. If not, probably not tomorrow. Probably Tuesday or Wednesday, 100%. Maybe tomorrow too. I don't fucking know. I don't know. We'll see. I don't have the girls until Wednesday night, so we're gonna be vibing. It's actually so nice. It's all calm and shit around the house without the girls. I love them, but holy shit, it's calm. When am I dropping another video? There will be another trip story either Thursday or Friday. And I want to do something else too. I don't know exactly what, but I want to do something else this week. And so there'll be another trip story, another stream sometime during the week. Just stay up to date on the Discord if you guys want to. This is the longest outro I've ever done. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Be happy. Be yourselves. And I will see you guys next time. Peace. Play a game. Oh, yeah. Good idea. Play a game. I got a game. Good idea. Thank you, Via. You're the best.
Hello, everybody. This is Chick Will Fong.
I can't. Sorry. I'm not going to make you guys listen to that again. I'll just like...